Chapter 26. Man eat man. Ace headquarters.
Where is he?
Jameson yells, clambering up the stairs onto the main platform, bringing Ace to a sudden halt in their operations. His voice echoes around the platform and deep into the tunnels and subtunnels. Jameson scans everybody on the platform. Their confused, anxious and somewhat bemused expressions obvious from face to face.
Where is that crazy son of a bitch?
Then, as suddenly as they had froze, everybody begins to laugh and cheer, some clapping their hands.
What the hell are you cheering for?
Jameson says, screwing up his face. He shakes his head and stumbles forward as some of the crowd direct his attention to a workstation. A laptop is broadcasting breaking news. The slightly dishevelled anchor on the screen looks like she cannot really believe what she is reading.
And we will be bringing you updates on their conditions all through the night. Again, we are reporting the shocking news that the G8 summit in Japan has been brought to an abrupt end as world leaders, including President Obama and UK's Prime Minister David Cameron, are rushed to hospital after consuming human meat, served to them for dinner by confused staff, who are currently being questioned by Tokyo's Metropolitan Police. It was only after several members of the summit complained of stomach cramps and illness that local authorities were called upon, and after immediate suspicion of poisoning, the summit members' food was tested and was confirmed as consisting of 100% human flesh, and the gruesome truth was uncovered. There is speculation that the human remains served to the summit leaders is connected to an ongoing murder investigation in Africa's Kumasi metropolis, involving an illegal bushmeat processing warehouse manager who, according to the official statement by the KMP, was fed through one of his own facility's meat grinders. And I'm just receiving an update on that investigation. The KMP have confirmed that the calling card of the notorious vigilante killer, the White Devil, was found at the scene. And the eco-terrorist organization, now known globally as ACE, have leaked a statement officially claiming responsibility for both crimes. The chilling statement goes on to say that no one is untouchable. You are all accountable for the slaughter. An enemy of the animal is my enemy, even if that enemy is the animal named human. The news has been greeted with mixed results across the world, with some people taking to the streets in New York to London, to Moscow, to Paris, celebrating and rejoicing in a fashion and on a scale never seen before. Governments across the world are considering curfews and martial law as local authorities are stretched to breaking point amidst what some experts are calling mass revolutionary hysteria.
Jameson's head begins to spin as his mind tries to fight what he had just learned from the news report. His legs become weak and shake, and with one sudden surge and belch, he folds over and vomits the remains of his half-digested dinner. Everyone gasps and the room falls silent. As Jameson fights to regain his breath, the news reporter goes on.
Yuri Haji, who is head of Japan's NPA, has made a statement to the press stating that they have now also joined the hunt for the White Devil and his ACE organization in an international cooperative to bring this terrorist group to justice. But with public opinion split and the rapid growth of many cells appearing across the globe, one has to question how the authorities are going to cope with this challenge to their order.
Jameson slowly raises his head and scans the room again with strained, bloodshot eyes, everyone watching on in silence. He spots Ace at the back of the crowd, standing at an entrance to a subtunnel. He just smirks and shakes his head at Jameson and turns and takes off down the tunnel.
Don't you walk away from me!
Jameson yells, pointing and taking off towards the tunnel. He pushes his way through the crowd and follows Ace. As he gives chase through the subtunnels, he catches only a glimpse of Ace as he turns corners, always just out of sight. Jameson enters Ace's private chamber. He edges forward. He glances at Ace's sleeping area, but there is no one lying back in the hammock. There is no sign of Ace. Jameson spots Edgar, perched and observing. Without giving it much thought, Jameson walks over and scratches the back of Edgar's head. He is distracted in thought, and it is only when Edgar begins to chirp intimately to him that he realises he is petting the bird. The bird tilts its head and seems to look into his soul. Jameson just smiles fondly at the charming creature.
I see you two are getting on a lot better.
Comes a voice from the darkness. Music begins to play. Jameson turns in the direction of the music. He scans the back of the chamber, searching for a shape in the darkness. He eases forward.
When a man sees things and hears sounds that's not there, he's headed for the rubber room.
Are you kidding me? Country?
Listen, kid. Country has got its place.
The voice argues from the darkness.
Why are you hiding in the shadows? Are you afraid to face me?
A demented chuckle echoes through the chamber.
But it is you who is hiding. It is you that is afraid to face me.
I'm not afraid. I'm here, aren't I?
Oh, you still don't get it, do you? You were never here. You aren't even here right now. In fact, you never existed.
Jameson screws up his face in confusion.
What kind of mumbo-jumbo bullshit is that you're talking?
Poor little Agent Jameson, still playing his juvenile game of cops and robbers.
Jameson tries not to gasp. He tries to remain straight-faced, but inside, he knows he is afraid. It is the first time Ace has called him out for who he really is. He is truly compromised. A part of his rational mind quickly regrets not disclosing his location to Black.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Jameson lies.
Oh, please. Did you have another nice conversation with Black in the city? Same booth, was it?
Jameson wonders if Penny has called Ace and informed him of their meeting.
I had dinner with Penny, actually.
You stay away from my daughter, Jameson. Do you hear me?
She followed me, actually. She cares about me. She seems to be a good person, if a little mixed up.
What do you know about her?
I know she is intelligent, kind, passionate. But I also know that she's in over her head with all this murder and hysteria. And for reasons I cannot fathom, I know she loves you, would do anything for you, even if it means following the devil into the depths of hell.
You think you see her? When you can't even see what's right in front of you.
Well, come out of the dark. Face me then.
I'm talking about the genesis of the new human being. The new order that is naturally emerging.
Huh. The so-called revolution? There's nothing natural about it. You've brought out the worst in people. They're celebrating murder and treason in the streets.
It's consciousness, baby. There is no stopping it. It is the overwhelming, uncontainable, most powerful force in the universe.
It's anarchy and violence orchestrated by you.
What do you know about anarchy? Anarchy does not mean chaos, you know. Comes from ancient Greece, meaning without ruler, leader, authority, but not without reason. Anarchy is law and freedom, without force. Not like the despotism we live with today. Anarchy is entwined into the very fabric that makes us human. A symbiotic relationship. It's been happening, growing, long before you and I were even born. I've just been fine-tuning it, giving it some coherence and direction. And it will continue to grow long after we are gone. The old ways, the priests, the popes, the elites, the master criminals, the soulless corporate entities, their time is over. They've had their chance, and they have brought us to the precipice of our own destruction. But we want life. We choose life.
We choose life by causing death? And you say I can't see what's in front of me?
Violence begets violence. And sometimes it takes violence to end violence. You said it yourself. The only excuse for violence is self-defense. When you're faced with a powerful enemy who wants to subdue you, wants to curtail you, your life, your business, those who want to use and abuse you and your family. They might even want to end your life sooner than scheduled. At what point are you allowed to defend yourself? When you've got a boot on your skull. Every revolution that this world has known, with a couple of exceptions, has been a violent, bloody struggle.
So that's what all this is? Your attempt at a revolution?
It's the inevitable revolution. I mean, we are altering this planet, changing the environment, changing the climate. Not just as a consequence of the Industrial Revolution, but literally orchestrating weather, earthquakes. Did we really think that meddling to this degree wouldn't have its consequences? And dire ones at that. Smashing atoms and opening transdimensional portals? our curiosity and attraction to power is unquenchable, knows no bounds, pulls all the strings, pulls out all the stops. It's glorious, yes, but it's also extremely dangerous. Do you know before they tested the first atom bomb that there was a growing concern amidst the scientific community and in the administration, including the military, that the explosion would knock the Earth off its axis, literally causing a mass extinction event? Still set it off, didn't they? And now, there's nukes aimed at every city on the planet. The people truly orchestrating this world have their foot on the floor, but no hands on the wheel. All the grassroots movements of the world, the Greens, the vegans, the anti-war, anti-establishment groups, the truth seekers, and the enlightened, those who fight for peace, compassion, and true justice. Not the petty revenue-building laws of the sea and commerce, the true laws, human law, common law. We're all transcending the old destructive ways. Progress demands it of us. Logic, the vegans, for example, are showing us the way. A simple choice. The desire to sustain our meat consumption will bring about the destruction of the natural world and the annihilation of our own civilization. Humans have to evolve. Evolve our consciousness and our conscience towards compassion and non-violence. Animals live in an ancient balance with wider nature. But humans are completely out of sync. We threaten all the other animals of the world, even ourselves, soon to become our own extinction event.
Are you really that batshit crazy?
Hey!
Ace screams. His voice echoes around the chamber, making Edgar jolt and flap his wings in alarm.
Never mention the B-word.
Jameson just shrugs at the darkness before him.
Would you listen to yourself? Non-violence? Compassion? Where were these ideals when you hunted and killed 3 men in the Highlands of Scotland? Or caving that poor woman's head in on a Canadian ice shelf? Or mincing a person and feeding him to the most powerful and dangerous men in the world? Where's compassion there?
That's not compassion, silly. That's art.
Art? So you're an artist now?
Besides, the removal of key people will have a wider compassionate effect on the world.
And just how many more need removal before you have your glorious utopia? How many?
Okay, a few more.
A few?
There's just so many. That apples, palm oil, CEOs, the major meat racketeers, Tyson, etc. A couple of cartels and cabals to take out. A few more royals, politicians, media moguls, a shitload of bankers too. A few bothersome billionaires who have become the bane of our lives. Hashtag Kill Bill. And some kitty fiddlers in the elite Hollywood circles. I'm thinking a particularly explosive gift wrap present under their trees this Christmas. It's gonna take me a while to get through them all.
Jameson sighs and shakes his head.
Okay, listen. I admit, I've learned a lot from you. There, I said it. You have changed me, opened my eyes to the bigger picture, but haven't you learned anything from me? That this vigilante murder marathon you're on is not the answer for the world. Not for the world, for you and your pain, or your family. What about their pain, Ace? Please. All the killing. It has to stop. You can't do this.
I can, and I will.
No, you won't.
What is this? A pantomime? Oh, yes, I will. You can't stop me.
Oh, yes, I can.
Jameson yells, roused with frustration and anger. He stumbles into the darkness with arms outstretched.
No.
Comes Ace's voice, closer to Jameson's left ear.
You won't.
Jameson feels a sharp blow to his head as he registers the considerable pain. His legs give out from under him. He crashes to the platform floor.
Not you. Not Black. Not anyone can stop me winning this war.
Ace says,
Don't you see? We must win, or we lose. Everything.
Jameson's eyes roll back in his head. As he loses consciousness, Porter Wagoner's singing voice is the last thing on his mind.
Now they've come to get me, but they find I'm a screaming pretty words, try to make 'em right.